we're going to talk about risk in your business. And it seems like an odd topic, but we all face risk in our business. Maybe not daily, but certainly weekly or monthly, whether it's risk that has to do with the environment, the business environment, with the political environment, whether it has risk to do with technology or risk to do with your industry or risk to do how your target market is surviving in a inflationary period. So there's a lot of variables that each of us must continually evaluate. Now, I've been started my career in 1987, and I started in the financial markets and managing money. I built the wealth management company, a fund of funds, a hedge fund. I raised over $100 million. And even though the markets go up and down, and there's bear markets and bull markets, I never experienced so much of a cyclical business, because even in bear markets, we would flip the script and then basically short stocks with our customers. So you had the ability to make adjustments, but if you didn't make the adjustments, then you would get punished during those off times. So what's our risk today as people that are operating online? And I think the biggest risk is a technology risk. And what do I mean by that? We each use technology to operate our business. We have email systems, we have calendar systems, we have I'm going live, we have video, we have social media, we have CRM systems, we have basically many SaaS softwares that are stitched together to help us operate our business. And the more you grow, it seems like the more technology that you have. So, for instance, um, I'll just name some core pieces: email marketing, that basically is either usually Outlook or Google Workplace; booking links, which is for most people Calendly. If you want to do marketing automation, it's MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft /Keep, that kind of stuff. I'm holding out one solution purposely because I'm going to talk about it at the end. So if you hear me saying this and you're using it, it's not because you're likely using the best solution. So we have your regular emails, your calendar, your booking link, and then if you want to do marketing automation, you want to build a list. So you build a list, you need to be able to build automation supporting that. You have all your web stuff, whether you're on WordPress or ClickFunnels or Wix, and all those pages. And you have your hosting site. And then you've got, if you're moving data between those platforms, Zaps and Zapier and Zaps Break. So this is just a handful of the potential pieces that come in play. But this can be double and sometimes even triple. And the reality is that it gets more complex as we grow. Now, what happens if we have a terminal event on one of those softwares? We really don't ever address this because Google's fine. They're not going anyplace. Outlook's fine. They're not going anyplace. But what happens if the CRM system that you've been using for 5 or 10 years in 36 months, oh, sorry, not 36 months, in 3 months goes to zero and just outright cease to exist? What's the risk? Well, you have a list that you built that is being nurtured by a system that people have become used to and aware of. So those emails that are going out from ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels, these type of companies. And then if you're going to move that list, then there's grave danger in a couple different areas. One is going to be absolutely deliverability, because the vast majority will not know the new IPs coming. So you need to go through a big process to be able to move a list from one company like MailChimp to another company like that. You have to clean the list. The new company, the receiving company, is going to be very cautious because they don't want a lot of complaints, because it damages their universal email system. So that's one challenge: is what do you do with the list, and how do you keep the effectiveness of the list? That's one. Two, billing. What do you do with billing? So if you're billing people and you're tied directly to the software, if you want to move to a different software, then you need to change the billing. Changing the billing, if you're doing monthly, month to month, or continuity, as it's sometimes called, you're going to take a 20 to 30% hit. It's it's There are people that are paying monthly, particularly if you're lower priced, that really aren't a fan. They're not using your software. So when you move them to a new place, you have to get them to re-engage and many times put in the new credit card. And when they do that, you're going to have a fallout. So, but this fallout happens in every business. When we were in the financial business and I was working for Oppenheimer, and then I moved to Payne Weber, every broker that moves from one place to another, or wealth manager or financial advisors, you're going to take a 20 to 30% hit on your clients. It's because clients are like, they've been with you and they're not doing anything. You haven't done anything. So they're not inspired to move. And even worse is the minute you put in your resignation, about 10 brokers are handed your entire list of clients. And that second, if it's nights and weekends, doesn't matter. They're hammering those clients and saying, don't move with that guy. That guy is not a good guy. So you have continuity risk from a revenue standpoint. Then you have actually the architecture risk, like what you built in that system. It doesn't easily translate to move into the next system. So if you built some type of funnel process that's going to nurture people, then okay, what does it take to move that to the next system? So the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because it's a good time as we're coming into the end of the year to sort of take inventory of the systems that you're using, the companies that you're in bed with, and if one of them were going to go bye-bye, like what would you need to do to be able to make sure that you would not only be able to move and transition, but flourish? Um, I've put together an hour and 20-minute training about a situation that is a dire situation for about 30,000 users of a well-known software that's been in business for 20 years. It's one that I've been closely associated with. One of the first partners was one of the Internet Marketers of the Year with this particular company. And this company's getting acquired. And I'm not going to share right now on this call who it is. If you want to know, if you've watched this far, then just say, "Hey, Mike, who it is?" I'll send you a private message. The training I did, which is an hour and 20 minutes, is extraordinarily in depth. It took me most of the entire day to do all the research and about 4 hours to shoot and edit the video. And it's live now. I've sent out emails. If you received some of my emails, you'll know because in the email I'm describing the situation. But if you're curious, let me know. I'm going to be revealing more over the next week or so. I just feel like my experience from the financial world, my experience from being in a company that merged, had a very high market valuation that was private, and then had a down round that was substantial, and then got taken over and saw a liquidation of all the investor, any of the equity that was there, and any of the investors that were there. So I have experience with a down round, and then I have experience with the what I call the private equity market or the venture capital market, of what they do when they're faced with a situation where the company doesn't work out, and the hands that they force to make that happen. And let's be quite candid that private equity and venture capital, they have good intentions when you start. For every 10 companies, one works. For the other nine, it's a terminal event, and they only look out for themselves. So if you're in the nine as a worker, executive team, or a client of that company, it's basically game over. So that's that. I mentioned earlier that I'm leaving out a name of a company that I'm now a partner with, a agency partner with. It's called Go High Level, and so you may or may not know that company. I've been working with them for 3 years. If I'm not going to also reveal anything right now in regards to what we're doing, you'll see underneath right here in this rolling green thread. We've built some products that integrate with Go High Level, and then this sales copy one is one of them. But if you're interested in learning more about that, then message me. We're going to do everything by message and keep it sort of private for now. That's it. It's November, coming on December. Take inventory, evaluate your business, and find out where you risk. The worst thing from a CEO's perspective is not mistakes or things going wrong. It's the unknown, a surprise of something going wrong. And that's what if we put in the energy and the effort, and we kind of evaluate our risk, and we see, as one of my friends and a gentleman is famous for this theory of game boarding, Steven Feinberg. If you ever look him up on LinkedIn, Steven Feinberg, he's got books on this. He's a neurostrategist. Game boarding is being able to see all the pieces and the different levels of pieces. So just start the process, and I'll hear from you by messenger, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.